So in my previous video, we went over and we talked about how good the B30 5G phone is, under $300. But NUU just came out with a brand new phone, and it's called the NUU N30 phone. And this thing right here is even under $200, way less expensive than the B30 5G, but yet offers some amazing features for that price. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the NUU N30 phone and see if you should consider buying this phone. Let's get right into it. Let's begin talking about the display. The N30 has a huge 6.6-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 1600 with a refresh rate of 90 Hz, which is going to ensure a smooth experience. Even though this is only a 720p display, by today's standards, that seems pretty low, and I thought I was going to be disappointed because by now I'm already used to 1440p displays, but I still find it to be quite decently sharp. For example, when watching videos. Viewing the display in bright outdoor conditions, I did notice that it's a bit dim and it doesn't get as bright as I would like it to be, so being in shade while using it outdoors is ideal. The NUU N30 is powered by a MediaTek Helio G81 up to 2.0 GHz octa-core with 6 GB of RAM and up to 128 GB of storage, and running on Android 14. On paper and today's standards, these specs are quite basic, but surprisingly, this device runs pretty smooth with no visible lag or delays. I was able to play some intensive video games and also multitask, and I didn't experience any sort of lag or stutters. And at this price point, it's hard not to recommend this phone. I mean, it does everything you need well, and I'm pretty sure the average person would be happy with this phone. If you're a fan of Google Pixel phones, you are definitely going to appreciate the N30 because it has a Google-like experience from the launcher to the widgets, and it almost feels like I'm using a Google Pixel phone. Now, whenever I'm buying a smartphone, the first thing I check is the cameras. How well do the cameras do, especially if I'm on the go and I don't want to take my big professional camera with me. I can just use this and throw this thing in my pocket and still take some amazing photos. NUU implemented a 3-camera system, a 50 megapixel main camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a bokeh VGA camera. And it also has a 8 megapixel front facing selfie camera. Whenever you open the camera app, you will notice that NUU implemented a ton of camera features. In fact, it even has a pro mode which allows you to manually adjust the white balance, ISO, shutter speed, and manual focus. I can see the direction where they're heading with the cameras, and it's pretty nice to see that NUU is implementing all this on their budget smartphones. I did spend some time testing out these cameras. I was mainly impressed by the main 50 megapixel camera. It's pretty solid and produces decent images, but the other cameras were honestly a bit noisy and soft, and overall they just gave that budget phone feel. But at this price point, you really can't complain, and it's really nice to see NUU improving their cameras on each model. I think for social media use, it'll definitely produce decent images. In fact, here are some photos and videos that I shot with it, so you be the judge. The design and the build quality are pretty solid. It's constructed out of a nice durable plastic material, and I really like the purple reflected color on the back. On the left side, you have the dual SIM card tray slot, and at the bottom, you have the headphone jack port. So by now, we all know that a lot of phone manufacturers got rid of the headphone jack. So one thing that I like about NUU is that even in 2024, they are still implementing the headphone jack port here at the bottom of the phones. So that is very nice because I still have a lot of headphones, for example like my studio headphones that I use for editing, that are wired, and being able to connect them to my smartphone is very nice. You also have a mic, USB Type-C charging port, and you get dual speakers, one on top and the other one at the bottom, so you are guaranteed to get pretty decent listening experience whenever you are watching videos or listening to music. On the right side, you have the volume up and down buttons, as well as the power on and off button, which also acts as a fingerprint scanner to unlock the phone. Now, the battery life on this phone is amazing. It has a 5000 mAh battery with 18 watts of fast charging, and for these past few weeks that I've been using it, I was easily able to get through the day with one single charge. And keep in mind that I'm a heavy user. I'm always responding to emails, scrolling through social media, and watching some YouTube videos, and I have to say, the battery life is pretty amazing. While this phone is missing some of the features that you get with some of the high-end phones, such as IP68 rating, NFC, and wireless charging, I can still recommend it to anyone that's looking for a solid phone under $200.